More and more Americans are struggling to pay rent, but landlords are also sounding their own alarms. Some are everyday people who tell Alicia Nieves they're not in favor of putting anyone out on the streets and instead say there's a better option.
Jerry Cheslow and his wife have spent the last 25 years slowly acquiring a handful of properties in New Jersey. Each property an affordable home for another family, and the Cheslows' version of a pension plan.
I wanted them to provide retirement for my wife and myself.
The Cheslows put much of their savings into each property, and now eviction moratoriums have put much of what they've worked for at risk.
When the eviction moratorium went into place, I saw it as extremely temporary. I thought 2 months and it's gone. And 2 months was something that I could weather.
But it's been 6 months, and Cheslow is not receiving rent from 3 out of his 8 properties. One tenant has not paid since the first moratorium went into place in March.
How concerned am I? I'm very concerned because, this was supposed to be my retirement, and suddenly it begins to unravel. Me and so many other landlords like me, we are being forced to carry the weight of everybody's living expenses on our backs.
For a 72-year-old who was about to retire this year, it's too much.
This was supposed to be part of my retirement, and right now it's a drain. And it's not fair. It's not fair, and it will destroy the backbone of affordable housing in the United States.
Brookings Institute estimates that individual small property owners like Cheslow own 40% of all residential rentals in the U.S. More than half of these landlords entered the pandemic without enough saved up money to pay mortgages in a situation like a pandemic.
There really needs to be some form of direct rental assistance, both to get these tenants out from under the huge debts that are accruing for not paying rent over several months, and to also pay the landlords.
Derek Reed is a New Jersey lawyer who represents small and large property owners in the state. He's been advocating for Congress to fund the eviction moratorium with stimulus money for rent. But just this week, President Trump ordered his negotiators to halt all talks over a new stimulus bill.
Well, when you're not talking about it, it's real people. It's real people. It's people who don't have food, don't have enough to live, and it's housing providers who may not have enough to pay the mortgages or may not have enough to keep properties that they've worked 25 years to acquire.
I'm Alicia Nieves reporting.